What's going on, guys? It's Eric again, back with another video. Welcome back to the Michigan Sports Hub, and today we're going to be talking about the Detroit Lions. They lost to the Houston Texans in the last preseason game. I thought they only had three preseason games, but apparently, since they were at the Hall of Fame game, they get an extra one. That is 26-7, unless they've went to four, unless they've upped it back up to being four preseason games again. I thought it was not only down to three, and then they start the regular season game with 17 regular season games. But that very well could be that very well could have been a change. Anyway, let's get to my breakdown here real quick. My from a casual fan's perspective, I was surprised to see Kyle Allen today. I didn't think he'd be the guy out there to do the offense, at least in the first part of the first half. I thought Hendon Hooker would probably. I wanted to see Hendon Hooker out there for the whole entire game, try to really assess his progress right now. And there was flashes where he had good plays, and actually kind of had the offensive kind of going down the field there. But most part of the second half was not very good. He either chose the wrong decision or scrambled when I think he really should have passed the ball a couple of times there where he ended up scrambling, but the scrambles ended up being pretty good gains. I'll admit that. But it was the most part of making the wrong decisions or the ball sailing or something like that. I don't think Hendon Hooker makes this team, unfortunately. Maybe he's at the very best case scenario, probably a practice squad player, so the Lions can continue to develop him. Being only technically that it's only his third, it's his third year, but it's only really his second year being healthy. His first year where he was completely injured. But I kind of want to go off here a little bit, and I don't want to kind of point fingers at any Lions staff member or anything like that, because I'm not on the Lions. I'm on the outside looking in here. But it kind of seems to me that Hendon Hooker hasn't had a very good development time here in Detroit. I don't know if it's the coaches. I don't know if it's the frustration from the coaches, or if it's Hooker's inability to process the information, or not paying attention, or what it is. I don't know what is going on with that guy. He is just not getting it. Maybe people just don't get it in the NFL, and they got to go off and do other things. But this third round pick from Brad Holmes looks to be a very, very bad third round pick. And we kind of knew that going in there with Detroit doing Hendon Hooker. I kind of was like, why did we get Hendon Hooker on a third round quarterback? I was kind of dumbfounded by it at the time, and I think a lot of people were. Well, I don't want to say I told you so, but this is what happens when you get injured players. They don't seem to perform the way that they used to, or they were great in college and that doesn't transition over. So, but I think best case scenario, he's probably a practice squad player and I don't think he ends up making the team, but we'll see. He may be a practice squad player, or I don't know. I think the Lions really don't want to give up on him, but I think the fans are kind of saying differently. At least today on the backside of the game there, they were kind of getting pretty frustrated with Hendon Hooker and his development time here. So, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and bash coaches or anything like that, but it just seems like the man just either can't retain the information that is given to him, or the Lions have failed him on developing. But again, I'm on the outside looking in here. I don't want to bash anybody. T-Slot, I thought he had a good game. I'm trying to check him over here on the ESPN box score here. He had 2 receptions for 41 yards and a touchdown. I forgot that touchdown play he had. You got to excuse me here. It's not 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday of all things. I probably really should be sleeping in. That long 33-yarder for that touchdown, that was a nice play by Tesla, and a good throw by Kyle Allen. I'll give Kyle Allen credit. He's a clear number 2 guy. Thought he done well. I thought Ronnie Bell did well too, even though I don't think Ronnie Bell makes a team. I think he'll probably get picked up by somebody else. He's just too good of a receiver not to be on a team. Maybe third or fourth wide receiver. I just think we're just too stacked at wide receiver that we don't we just can't field a guy like that. Plus, you have Tesla in here, you have Tim Patrick, you have Craig Reynolds, you have Tom Kennedy, Meeks has done well too. It's just a stacked, and you're not gonna overthrow any of the number ones. It's just we're just stacked right now at wide receiver. And unfortunately, I think Ronnie Bell, even though I think he's done well with the Lions, I just don't think he's going to be. There's just no place for him on this roster. But I think he has played well. But Ronnie Bell's played well. Nobody else kind of really wowed me today. Craig Reynolds does Craig Reynolds things. I think he makes a team. I think he's again, Craig Reynolds being out there is kind of weird to see because I thought he was a solid player for the Lions last season. It's just kind of he's probably down on the depth chart and probably fighting for a position. That's the only reason why. But Craig Reynolds is doing Craig Reynolds things. I think he makes a team. I don't think that one of the people bump him. I think he makes a team. It'll be surprising if he does get bumped. He'll make another roster somewhere. He's done pretty well for the Lions. I can't see another team not picking him up if he gets bounced. Like I said, anybody else really has. Sayers, I think, did well, too. I don't really remember hearing Tom Kennedy's name or love it. Meeks has done well throughout the season. That's pretty much it here, guys. Jackson's done well here, being a running back, doing some receiver stuff here, too. This team stacked. Just the team stacked. Even though the score really hasn't reflected that, but people have played well. There's people that haven't played well here either. There's people that have kind of stunk it up and probably are going to get released. Probably the first ones to get released. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on here, guys. There really isn't much really going on. We'll probably get into more in depth as the regular season comes along, but I don't really take too much into these. I don't really take too much information. Information is what it is from this preseason game. You just kind of look at what the Lions are doing. It looks like they're going to try to mix a run and pass. Clear that John Horton's, that's his play style. I'm still trying to get the defensive coordinator, which his name escapes me right now, what they're trying to do there. You couldn't really see what was going on with the team here. He's got. If this is any indication of how the Lions are going to play on defense, he's got to shore up that defensive line, or at least have them play a different style, or kind of whatever that is. The gashing of the linebacker, or the gashing of the linebackers, the gashing of the wide receivers. Goodness, Eric, I haven't had a cup of coffee yet here, guys. I apologize. The running backs going through the line have got to stop. If this is any indication, that has to stop. If we do that, we're not going to be. This team isn't going to be a playoff team. So, I think the offense is under control. It's the defense the defensive line especially that kind of concerns me. All 4 games it was like that. I had a couple of gashes a game that the running back just kind of took off right and kind of just gashed right through there. I hope that gets shored up with the first team, or maybe the first teamers play it better than the practice squad players do, or third, fourth stringers. Don't know the answer to that. But that's my thoughts on here, guys. Like I said, I don't take much from the preseason games. We're gonna see really comes down to when we have to go to the Packers, Green Bay, and play them in the first week of week 1. This will really be a telltale sign of what kind of team do we got. Do we have a playoff team? Do we have a NFC Championship game team, Super Bowl, kind of competing for the Super Bowl? Or is it something that the Lions regress a little bit and we don't make the playoffs? That's a very real possibility too here, guys. Even though I think that's a long shot, I think we at least make the playoffs. I think we'll probably get bounced in the divisional round. That's just my gut feeling. We get bounced in the divisional round again. Maybe, I don't know to who, but there's quite a bit of teams out here that can get us. And I'm going to wrap it up here real quick. You got the Eagles, you got Washington, you got Tampa Bay. You got us. Who else? Probably the Rams. The Rams are going to be in the thick of it here too, even though that whole thing with Matthew Stafford going on out in L.A. That team will probably be a competitor. San Francisco is up in the air. You never know what that team's going to be with Brock Purdy out there. That team kind of seems to came back down to earth a little bit. And maybe we come back down to earth too, guys. I just don't know the answer to that. There's a lot of good teams out there that the Lions are going to really have to compete with to try to get a playoff spot. I think we get my prediction is probably 11-6, and we get a playoff spot, and we'll probably bounce in the divisional round. I think we'll win our wild card game, but we'll get bounced in the divisional round. Maybe 11-6 is enough for a title. I don't know. I think if Minnesota comes in and plays J.J. McCarthy, I don't think the Vikings are a deal stopper here. Our biggest competition is Green Bay. And Ben Johnson and the Bears were there. I think Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson are going to be on the same page for a little bit, but I think as the season goes along, I think you'll see the Bears play start to rise up. But I think it'll be too late by then. But maybe I'll do a little NFC wrap-up game here, guys. I really don't know what I want to do yet here. Let me know what you guys think right down there in the comments. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of today's game? Or even you have some comments, some criticisms, kind of whatever. Go ahead and put it right down there in the comments, guys. Also, make sure you hit the like button. The like button actually goes out and gives the algorithm something, so kind of can push these videos out here more. I really appreciate a like on this video. And also, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you guys get more videos just like this one. All right, guys, we're going to have to go ahead and see how week 1 does here. And I'll come back to see with some cuts here. I probably won't be really surprised by anybody, but come Tuesday, the 26th, we'll have to figure out, is it the 26th or Wednesday? I can't remember what it is. The cuts are at some point this coming week. So we'll do that. We'll have a show for that. Anyway, guys, I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope to see you guys again soon. Deuces. Take care, guys.